I left without slamming the door, not because I wasn't angry, not because I didn't want to scream, but because I wanted the silence to haunt her, to echo louder than anything I could have shouted, because sometimes silence is the loudest goodbye. We were together for 7 years, 3 of them married, and for most of that time I thought we were good. We laughed, we traveled, we had late-night conversations about everything and nothing. We had inside jokes and favorite takeout orders. We had a life that looked perfect from the outside. But looking back now, it wasn't perfect. It was just familiar. She was my comfort zone, and I was her cover story. I should have seen it earlier. The signs weren't subtle. They were just easy to ignore when you love someone too much. The phone always face down, the unexplained receipts, the sudden urge to get space, the way she stopped kissing me like she meant it. It was death by a thousand little moments, and I felt every single one. But I told myself all couples go through phases, that I just needed to be patient, that we'd find our way back. But the truth? She'd already left long before I did. The night everything changed started out ordinary. She said she was going out with coworkers. I said, have fun. She didn't kiss me goodbye. That was becoming normal. Something in my gut told me to follow. I hated that feeling, suspicion, paranoia. It made me feel small. But love isn't supposed to make you feel like you're going crazy, so I followed. Not because I wanted to catch her, but because I already knew. I needed proof. I needed something that would finally silence the voice in my head that kept saying, maybe you're wrong. Maybe she still loves you. She wasn't with coworkers. She was with him. I watched from the parking lot of a quiet restaurant to wine glasses, candlelight, her laugh. The one I used to believe was mine. And then she leaned across the table and kissed him. Not a quick mistake. Not a moment of weakness. A slow, practiced kiss. Comfortable, familiar, repeated. I didn't get out of the car, didn't bang on the window or make a scene. I just sat there, hands shaking, eyes burning, heart numb. And for the first time, I realized I'd already lost her. I didn't go home that night. I couldn't. The thought of lying beside her, hearing her fake stories, feeling her skin after knowing where she'd just been knit made me sick. I booked a hotel room, stared at the ceiling until the sun came up, and by morning, I had made my decision. Not out of rage, not out of revenge, but out of clarity. She didn't deserve a dramatic exit. She didn't deserve closure wrapped in my pain. She deserved silence. I went home while she was at work, packed the essentials, left the rest. I wasn't interested in fighting over furniture or photo albums. What I wanted, what I needed was freedom and peace. Before I walked out for the last time, I stood in our bedroom, looked around at the life we shared, the framed photos, matching pillows, the promises buried under all that comfort. Then I walked to the front door, took a deep breath, and I left without slamming it. Because the silence would say everything I didn't. I didn't leave a note, didn't text her, didn't block her, just disappeared. Let her come home to the absence. Let her sit in it. Let her feel what it's like when something you never thought would end does. Let her walk around that apartment trying to figure out the moment I stopped being hers. Spoiler, it wasn't the night I saw her kiss him. It was the moment I realized I deserved better. The days that followed were quiet, almost too quiet. I kept waiting for the pain to hit all at once. But it didn't. It came in waves. And between those waves, there was a strange sense of peace. For the first time in years, I wasn't performing, wasn't pretending I was okay. Wasn't hoping she'd come back to the version of herself I fell in love with. I was just breathing, living, hurting, yes, but healing too. I deleted the photos, unfollowed her, didn't check her status, didn't ask mutual friends, 'cause I didn't want pieces of her leaking into my new beginning. Weeks turned to months, and life started to feel like mine again. I picked up hobbies I had abandoned, reconnected with friends I had distanced myself from, woke up without anxiety, ate dinner without swallowing guilt, and slowly, I started to remember who I was before I became her husband, before I made someone else's happiness my full-time job. And for the first time in years, I liked the man looking back at me in the mirror. Then, almost a year later, she found me. A message. Short. Simple. I just want to talk, please. I didn't respond. Days later, she showed up at my new place. She looked different. Older, tired, haunted. Her voice shook when she said my name. Like she couldn't believe I was really standing there. I didn't think you'd actually leave, she said. That sentence told me everything. She never expected consequences. Never thought the man who forgave everything would one day choose himself instead. I made a mistake, she whispered. I just shook my head. No, you made a choice, and so did I. Her eyes filled with tears. I miss you, I don't, I said. And it wasn't cruel, it was honest, liberating. I missed the idea of us, but not who we became, not the version of me I had to be to stay with you. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. Please, she said, can't we just talk? We are talking, I replied. And this is the end of it. Then I turned around, walked back into my place, and closed the door quietly, just like I did the first time, because sometimes the softest endings leave the deepest echoes. I didn't leave to teach her a lesson. I left to teach myself one. That silence isn't weakness. It's strength. It's clarity. It's the sound of choosing peace over chaos. And that some doors once closed quietly should never be opened.